Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. So it's the first Saturday of the month. So it is Project Share Blog Hop and our theme is floral. So I have picked out four, in fact, floral images. So I've picked out this one from Quiet Meadow. Love this set. This one from Ranunculus Romance. Love this too. This one from Nature's Harvest, I do love that. And this one from Dragonfly Garden. I like these, I think they make lovely vintage projects. And we're going to do a vintage project. So we are making these journaling cards. And then I made one the same size of this and put it on a card. So stay tuned and I'll show you how I did this. So I've got this music paper, so I've snipped it out of the book, and I'm going to just glue these two together so that I've got a bit of a thicker base, because it's quite thin. I think this is about 100 years old, so I'll just get these stuck together. I'm going to go over it with a glue stick first, which has fallen on the floor. Oh, there it is, I picked it up. So I'm just going to go all the way over with a glue stick, and then I'll go over with some glue, and then we'll have our base to start. So now I'm just pulling out my favourite sort of floral stamps that look quite realistic-ish. So I've got this one here from Dragonfly Garden, this one here from Quiet Meadow, my Ranunculus Romance, and this one here from Nature's Harvest. And I've just sort of laid them down, and I can fit all four of them on this. So I'm going to get them stamped. I'm going to use StazOn so that I can watercolour. That's a very dirty block, Jez. Yes, so I can watercolour on top. So yeah, and will that fit on here? Yes. Cooking on gas. Right, so I'm going to get my StazOn, and let's get these inked up. So it's important that you use a permanent ink when you're going to watercolour, so that it doesn't run. So stick that there. I love this stamp. I resisted buying it. There we go. And we're going to put this one next to it. I just think it's nice to see a different way of using stamps. There we go. So that one, this is the biggest one, longest one, so I'll put it on top of this one. Up there. I just like to give StazOn a little bit longer to transfer. And then finally this one, and I like to give it a little bit longer to dry than I do my dye-based inks, because they need a little bit longer. So let's put that on there. we go. And by gluing these together as well, that's going to help with the watercolouring, because gives it a little bit more to absorb. So I'm just going to leave that to dry for a few minutes. So there we are, ready. So I've got some A blocks there, which is what I like to put my ink on for watercolouring. I've got my water painters. So we have three styles here. So we've got a one with a really small brush on it, and you put water in the end here. We've got a sort of normal size one there, and then we've got a big one for a water wash. So those are our brushes, and I mainly use these two for colouring in. I might use this one on the background, and then I'm going to pull in some colours. So I want some greens for the foliage, so I might do those first, and I might do a bit of old olive, garden green, and I think mossy meadow I will use, I think. So I'm going to get a bit of loo roll just to have down here for my brush. Now this one actually is the old style, and on the old style ink pads you can just give them a squeeze and you get a bit of ink in the bottom there, which is cool. Whereas with these ones it doesn't work so much. They're much stiffer, and it's harder to get that pooling there. So just dab an A block and get ink on the A block like so. I'm just going to do one at a time actually. So I might take my fine one, gonna get a little bit of water in there, give it a press. There, got a bit of water. Pick it up a bit. Gonna get a bit of a scrap paper. Yeah, liking that. Where's your glasses, Jez? Because you certainly need them. So let's just, was that my head in the way? I am sorry. I like watercolouring because it's very forgiving. You don't have to be a really good artist to do it. You're just putting down colour really, and it sort of, it goes naturally light and dark as it runs out. It's quite nice when you go over the lines. So you don't have to sort of worry too much. I find it quite relaxing and quite enjoyable to do. And you can, that, because I went into the middle there, I've got a bit of a darker colour there, which is absolutely fine. So there we go. And you can go back in if you want to add a bit more colour to give it a bit more depth. You can do that. Sorry, my head keeps going in the way. There we go. So yeah, liking that. And if you want to, if you think, oh, there's a bit more colour on there than I like, then you can just dab it off, and that works. So that's that one. And then with these brushes, you just give it a bit of a squeeze, let some water come down, and that washes the ink out. So now we're ready for another colour. So I'll just put that one away for now. So now we're going to use some garden green. Got a much bigger surface area here, so I could actually change it to the big one, big brush that is, but I'm going to stick with this one. So covering this up, and I really like, so with the watercolour you can see the music behind, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to be able to see that. So that's that. I'm going to colour these flowers now, actually, before I go on the top, because I think actually this might be quite a long, boring video. You're just watching me colour like that, and I might do a bit of speeding up when I come to do the top ones. Right, I've got pumpkin pie here, which I think would be nice for these centres of the flowers there. So I'm just going over, and of course you've got the detail in the stamp as well to give it you know, to make it look like a nice painting. There we go. And I might put a little bit darker around the bottom there. There we go. So again, give that a little bit of a clean off. There we go. And then I might, what colour shall I go for now? I might try Rich Raspberry. Don't need a block for this because it's, again, an old style ink pad. I'm not bothered that I'm going over the lines, because I think that's okay with watercolouring. I might do these in different colours because that's on a different stem, so I might do a collection of colours. So I'm just getting, this is much darker, so need a bit more water in this, to be fair. Might fill it up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to do, I think, Merry Merlot. I think that's had a bit of something with red in it. didn't clean it that well. So I think these two will have to be the same because they're on the same stem. So I've filled this now. Yeah, it's not too dissimilar, but it is different. Little one from a different angle. I'm not quite sure what those under ones, what colour they should be, but I've done it like that. Okay. And then deciding what colour to do that. See, when it's full, water comes out much better. It's better. I know they're like large, they're like buttercups or something, I think. So I might go for crushed curry. It's a colour I hardly ever use, so try it. Not my favourite, but let's see what it looks like. Yeah, not my favourite. I've got a bit of pumpkin pie on here. I might add a bit of that. Second colour I don't like very much. So add them both together and see what you get. Maybe pick up a bit of red tinge. Oh, it's added a bit of something. So you can play with your colours. And just pick up end up with something completely different. There. So that's them done. So I'll speed it up whilst I do the top two. So that's them all done. So let's bring it up closer for you to see. So now I'm going to cut them out and I'm going to make 4 panels. So I've picked out my stitch rectangles and my sports event, and I quite like the idea of doing an extra large ticket there. That one fits nicely in the ticket. I could fit that one in, but it's a bit close. So going for ticket for that one, and then a stitch rectangle on that one and on that one. This one is a bit bigger. It's a bit longer, so I thought I might just cut that out on the trimmer rather than putting it in a die. So I'm going to get those cut out. So there are my 4 bits cut out. So these two with the stitched edging, this one with the ticket shape, and that one just as it is. I'm thinking I might trim, so we've just got the music edge there, so I'm gonna do that. Put that down there, that down there. So that's nicely central now within the music. So I'm gonna do some journaling cards. So I might do that as a journaling card, that's a journaling card, and maybe that one as a card front. So we're going to do slightly different things with it. So I want to back them if they're going to be journaling cards. That one I'm going to leave to the side for now. So I'm going to use some crumb cake cardstock. So I'm going to trim it to roughly the size I want it to be. Yeah. And then I'm going to do some inking before I do some cutting out. So I'm just going to trim that down there. So I want to do some distressing with this. So with the Nature's Harvest, we've got this, which I quite like that as to be distressing around the edges. I think that will work quite nicely. So if I do a bit of tone on tone and bring in the crumb cake ink, and we just go around the edges with that. It's not very centralised. That's better. Now I'm not all over the place. So just giving a bit of distressing to the edges, which I think is quite a nice look. So we get all them done. And I've lost my favourite script. Well, I haven't lost it. It's not going anywhere. But Very Versailles unfortunately retired when the old annual catalogue retired. We've got a new one. But there are other stamp sets that have got bits of, it's not script, I've got like tight script in some of them, so I think we're going to be using those as a substitute now. I will still use my Very Versailles script, but I just wanted to do this with some current products. So yeah, liking the way that that is looking. I might now get a bit of crumb cake. No, that is crumb cake. Soft suede. And I'm going to get a bit of, so we've got, that is beautiful. So I might use that. So that I got a little bit of script on here. So ink that up. And then what I might do is just take a bit like that. So I've just got bits over it like so. There we go, and we want a bit of dots, so I'm going to get the dots from here, and I'm going to put some of these on the front bits as well. So bit of dottage around there. I do love vintaging. It is one of my favourite things to do. So we're gonna do it on these. Where's my other one I put to one side because I still want to distress that. So I'll have some dots. And I want some of this script on them as well. Just subtle. You can only really see it in the gaps. That's fine. And then on this one as well there. And I might put a bit of this in places. Not as much as was on the back, but just a little bit around. There. Now I want to do a little bit of inking. So that the edges get inked up. And then to make sure that the edges of fully inked, I'll just go around it. So they're all done. And I think they're looking pretty good. Sort of grunged up, vintaged. Like so. Right, so now I'm gonna die cut these. Well, I'm not gonna die cut that one because it's just going on as it is. So I'll die cut these two. Okay, so that's them done, and I did on this one go around the outside as well because I'd forgotten I'd left a margin on it, so that can get stuck on there like so. I've inked round these so we can stick those on like that, so it looks. I've got ribbon in my hand, I'm going to use that in a minute. So that can be used, I mean that's pretty on the back as well as on the front, and likewise with this one. So I think they'll make nice journaling cards. And I had a thought that because I'm sandwiching them, I might stick a bit of ribbon. It's just a thought in between them. So I've got a bit of ribbon as a little pull. Thought that might be quite nice. So I experimented and sort of coloured them. So that one I used a crumb cake blend, which are alcohol markers. And then on this one I used the rich raspberry. And I'm quite liking that. So I also thought, well, you always like to add a little bit of a word as well. And you might remember I'd done a video on using my stamps to create little words. So I picked a few out. So I thought this one needs a little bit of kindness. We all need a little bit of kindness when you can be anything else, in anything you can in the world, be kind. So I thought that, and I thought stick a little bit of this ribbon under it. So I like the way that one's actually cut. So cut that one down there. So that can go on there like so. And then if I do that like that and have that sticking out the top, that'll make a nice little tag. That is what I was thinking. And then do the same on this one. That one's a little bit bigger, so we can put a bigger thing on that, maybe a day to remember. So have that going a bit more like that. Oh, that's a really rubbish way you've cut that, Jess. There, and we'll go there like so. And then we just need a little bit more then for that. Around the top. Don't need a massive loop. So we'll go there. And then you just going to colour that quickly with my rich raspberry. They come in dark and light. I'm using the light. So I use them more to colour gems and things than I do to colour pictures. But there you go. I'm going to just go over a little bit with my blending brush. And then again, that can go and be sandwiched in between there. That'll look super duper. So this one, what did I pick out for this one? Don't forget. So it's all about memories, isn't it? So again, that needs a little bit. Just going to go with the same theme. Stick a bit of that there and there, and a little bit sticking out the top. So that needs colouring as well. And then I'll get them all stuck down. So I'll speed it up whilst I'm doing that bit. Okay, so they are now finished. So I think they will be a lovely addition to a journal. I do like the ticket one. I love these ticket dies. Brilliant. And then there's one without any dies. So yeah, so then that just leaves this to put on a card, just to sort of show that you can do that, because I know many people that watch me are card makers, not journalers. So I have taken an early espresso, excuse me, card blank. I've embossed with the timber, I think it's called. It's not called bark, is it? I think it's called timber. Embossing folder. I didn't get my shim quite right, so it's not gone in the middle, but it doesn't really matter. So you could quite easily just put one of these on top, and job's a good one. So, but we're going to use this. So what I did was I cut some old olive, which is the colour I used there, and I've embossed this with the tight worn embossing folder, and I thought that we'd sort of layer it up like so, put them at a little bit of an angle. I might do a little bit of inking. I've stamped the Let's Celebrate You from Celebrate Sunflowers, and I stamped it in early espresso so it matches that, and then just fussy cut it out. Really, that needs a little bit of inking, and I think we'll be good to go with that one. So I'm just gonna do that bit quickly. And then just as a little finish off, I thought I'd take our classic matte dots and colour them in old olive and have a few little dots around. I thought that would be nice. Then I remembered it is retired, but I've got some old olive dots, so I'm going to use those. But if you wanted to do that, then you can colour them with these ones aren't matte, but so let's have put a few of these around. Just to add a little cement. Oh, what am I doing? I think I need some more putty, really. There we go. Stick them down. So it will need, I won't do it now because it's taking too long, but I will add very vanilla card base in there. So there we have it. So that is it as a card. That is it as a journaling card. And then we have these others. So that is my floral project for the Project Share blog hop. So I hope you like that. I hope you go and check everybody else out. There's only 4 of us, and there'll be a link down below to my blog. There's also a link to my shop if you wish to purchase any of these things. Okay, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.